up to a certain level. Because, I mean, think about it. If we're already counting the popular vote, why don't we just use that to base who the country wants as a leader? It's not. Because at the end of the day, if we have, elected officials and all that who are supposed to vote for us, they could vote for whoever they want.
I mean, look, but typically, when you cast your ballot, you're voting essentially for an elector who will cast his or her vote, who is typically politically aligned. Why don't we just cut out the middleman? Well, wait a minute, who's typically aligned with your political beliefs, and that person typically casts a vote for the president. We also know that typically the person who wins the popular vote typically wins the presidency. That clearly didn't happen with
this election.
Al Gore. and Bush, and there's been a small number of other chances in the history of our government where it has happened, but it's not the norm. Typically, the person who wins a popular vote usually wins the Electoral College, but that wasn't the case this time with Secretary Clinton. But look, I want to go to some of our calls because we got a lot of callers here.
You gotta say the phone number 1-866-801-8255.
Say it one more time, Bajon.
1-866-801-8255.
So if you're listening, that means we want you to call. Let's go to Ed in North Carolina. Ed in New York City.
Ed, how you doing?
Good evening, guys. Okay. I just wanted to put a couple of things in context. First of all, I'm glad that you do support the Electoral College because you're right. Basically, without an Electoral College, it would be like it'd be like two wolves and one sheep trying to vote on what's for dinner. You're going to get outvoted and you're going to lose simply because your vote just doesn't count as much as the next person.
Right.
Now, here's my issue, though. And let me tell you something. I foresaw the Trump victory back when he first began, once I saw how he was dealing with those other Republican candidates. Here's the issue, though. There were a lot of people who they're not talking about who refused to come out and vote for Hillary Clinton and refused to come out and vote for Trump because they were absolutely disgusted by Trump and Hillary Clinton. Part of the problem was the pollsters were polling people who were lying about who they were planning on voting for because voting for Trump was considered politically incorrect. So they weren't going to tell you up front that they were going to vote for him. MSNBC, CNN, and the mainstream media that was liberal, they overcounted Hillary's chance of winning because they could never understand who it was that was actually supporting Trump and showing up at these rallies because they weren't saying that they were going to vote for him. Many of them weren't polled because as far as they were concerned, Romney was going to win the same states he won and Hillary's going to win the same states Obama won. What they couldn't count on was Florida and Pennsylvania flipping and those votes going to Trump. Now, my thing with Jill Stein, I'm disgusted by her. First of all, she's raised more money for this ridiculous recount than she raised in her own political campaign, which tells you she's a joke. Supposedly, she has these people thinking that they're sending money in order to have a recount, and somehow these people believe that there's going to be a redo of the national election, which there's not. But what they've been trying to do is they've been trying to undermine our belief in the system by saying that Russia was hacking the system. First of all, we have a paper ballot, we have a computer scan ballot. There is no hacking.
There is no hacking, that's right.
And then, first of all, it was WikiLeaks that hacked Hillary, which wouldn't have happened if she hadn't been sneaking and running a private email server, and she got herself hacked because the government has enough security to make sure they couldn't have gotten hacked. It was her fault. And now they're trying to cast doubt on the system and trying to undermine the system by casting doubt on it and saying that it was the Russians that hacked it. It wasn't the Russians that hacked it. It was WikiLeaks that hacked her, and then it was the Russians that gave him protection when he ran outside the country. And I just want you to think about something. They said that Julian Assange was a rapist. Every time they want to try to get you extradited, they lie about a charge, and they try to say, oh, you raped or murdered somebody so that they can get you extradited. They were trying to get Julian Assange for years because he did the same exact thing to George Bush. So as far as this election goes, Trump won, and until he is standing there swearing in with his hand on that Bible, these liberals are going to constantly be watching MSNBC and CNN, thinking that all they got to do is send Jill Stein money, and that somehow magically the entire election's overturned. And the mere fact that she got $5 million this quickly means that there's a lot of stupid people out there who really believe that that's going to happen. It's not going to happen. And once he swears in, you tell me where all that money will have gone.
Well, Ed, we appreciate the passion and we appreciate your comments and your thoughts.
Thank you for calling.
Let's go to Tony in Texas, my home state.
How you doing, Tony?
Hey, how are you guys? Listen, I want to talk to you about Jill Stein because she's a genius, man. She's got everybody talking about her. She's parlaying this into a lot of national attention.
You're right.
Okay, which is really the only way she's going to get any kind of national attention because of the system that's really a two-party system. Okay, and they never allowed her to join any of the debates. They never allowed her to get any airtime. She has a great message. If you really look at her message is in line with Bernie Sanders, who had 14 million voters behind them.
Yeah, because they're both goddamn communists.
To do what they have to do. So she's really smart. She's establishing herself for 2020. She's getting notoriety. Listen, a big part of getting elected in this country is not your issues. It's your notoriety. Are you recognized? Are you known? Okay, this is what gets people. And you know what? The guy that just called from New York, he's totally off the wall.
Kiss my ass, bitch. Kiss my ass. Kiss my whole ass.
Because really, he's talking about, they want to undermine the system. No,
yeah,
the system
I'm talking about the liars.
We have a broken system from top to bottom.
You're broken, asshole.
Okay, but wait a minute.
Yeah,
Tony.
You can't even refute my point, you dumb bitch.
Saying. But the fact of the matter is Donald Trump won.
Yeah,
he's the president-elect. Hillary Clinton conceded. She recognized that she had no path to victory. And that has not changed. So why in the hell is Jill Stein pumping all of these people up with a broken promise that's just not going to come to fruition?
Because she's a commie.
Why?
Absolutely.
A communist.
Absolutely not. I'm telling you, it's for the name recognition.
But
you're trying to refute my points, Tony. Don't even try it, Tony.
Who are donating whatever they can that allowed her to raise $2 million, they don't know that. They believe in their heart, oh my God, there's still hope that the election can be overturned.
Stop feeding these idiots hope. Stop it. Stop feeding these morons hope. Stop.
We know that, and those people are naive. They have to accept the situation the way it is, and we have to start Plan B. What is Plan B? Because Plan A...
Plan B is you lose.
Because it was really two candidates that were two sides of the same coin. They're both establishment candidates. One wants to give tax breaks to the rich. The other one was taking Wall Street money from day one. Okay, these people represent the...
So maybe you should run for office, Tony.
Okay, what is Plan B?
Plan B is Tony's going to run for president.
How are we going to start getting known in local elections and electing progressive people? Okay, in local elections...
Come on, Tony, you can run for 2020, Tony. Tony 2020.
That's when we have to start getting young people
who
talk and they run on issues as opposed to running on personality. Okay,
I agree. That's what you guys should do as Democrats. That's what Democrats should do.
Maybe you should run, Tony.
Plan B. Right now, we start Plan B, and in 2 years, we got to win back to Congress. Otherwise, we're cooked.
You are cooked, Tony.
This country upside down.
Well, Tony, we appreciate you.
Tony, you are toast.
Thanks, Tony. We got to take a break. This is Sir Michael Singleton with Bashar Brooks, and you're listening to the one and only Armstrong Williams Show on Sirius XM Urban View, Channel 126. We'll be right back.